Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, February 14th, and this is the search news we covered over the past week at the Search Engine Roundtable. First up, happy Valentine's Day. You see our little theme up here. We have a nice Valentine's theme. We'll get into that a little bit later. First up, okay, so Google had a algorithm update this past week, or actually on February 6th. They announced it this week. It was regarding the page layout algorithm. This is the third update to that algorithm. It was a refresh. It wasn't really a rewrite. It was just a refresh of the algorithm. Matt Cutts announced it this week, and he said it happened on February 6th. Many people didn't actually notice anything. It doesn't really affect many SEOs. It affects some sites, but it doesn't affect many SEOs. What a lot of webmasters did notice was a possible update around the February 11th or February 12th, maybe some of the 10th, specifically around the possible Google update. Some people are saying it's Panda related, but a lot of people are actually discussing there was some type of shift in the Google rankings around February 10th, 11th, 12th, and so forth. So you're not alone. There's a bunch of comments on that post. If you want to take a look at it, I wrote about it on February 13th. Google added this weird thing, this weird guideline to Google Webmaster Tools guideline, Google Webmaster guidelines. The guideline says, make efforts to ensure that the robots.txt file does not block a destination URL for a Google ad product. Adding such a block can disable or disadvantage the ad. That should really specifically say, make sure that you're not blocking it for the Google Media bot, really. It's not, I mean, I guess you don't want to block it for robots.txt, but at the same time, Google's saying the complete opposite. They're saying make reasonable efforts to ensure that advertisements do not affect search rankings. For example, Google AdSense ads, double-click ads are blocked from being crawled by a robots.txt file. So I'm not really sure. I mean, obviously, Google says on one hand, do block ads. On the other hand, don't block Google ads because they have to, the Google bot crawlers have to understand what's going on. So I guess it is a good technical guideline, but it's really, they have to add more to that, I think, to explain what's going on. And I emailed Google about that to clarify. They haven't responded yet. Earlier this week, we actually reported about Google's. Earlier this week, we actually reported about Google having an issue with their impression data, specifically around Google Webmaster Tools showing impression data that was very outdated. I think it wasn't updated since the 6th or something. Google finally responded to me the other day, basically saying that they know about the issue and it will actually catch up in the near future, probably the next few days or so. So if by next week, early next week, the data has not been caught up yet, then we have something to worry about, but it should be caught up soon. That's what Google told me. Google has a new knowledge graph or type of answer result. It's basically for menus and restaurants. So here's like a search for Red Lobster, and you can see here at a glance, it has different menu options and stuff like that. It's pretty cool, and it's very interesting to see this. And I personally am not able to replicate it, but a lot of people are actually seeing it now in the search results. Soon they'll probably have in there the ability to see prices and then obviously place an order online. Google gave a nice amount of advice on two technical topics. One is on faceted navigation. Specifically, you see this a lot where you have like an e-commerce site with a lot of filters, like, you know, I want to filter the shoes by this color or by this size or by these options and stuff like that, or price. And that creates a lot of navigational elements to your URL structure, which creates possibly a lot of duplicate content, and Google's not really sure what pages to rank. So there's a lot of different technical things you could do with faceted navigation, and Google's Miley O'Hay from the crawl team, the developer relations teams actually went ahead and wrote a big blog post on Google's Webmaster blog about how to handle this. Most of the stuff says you should pretty much block a lot of the faceted navigation and not show a lot of it. Also, John Mueller and others, it's not live yet, sorry I wrote this post earlier, basically talked about on the Google Webmaster blog how to create search engine friendly infinite scroll. So you see a lot of these sites like Pinterest and Google Image Search, a lot of different places where you scroll, and as you scroll, content loads. Obviously Googlebot's not able to actually scroll the page, so they're not able to actually generate a page to or content to load. So Google has advice on how to actually make that type of stuff search engine friendly. Google's Matt Cutts talked about bad grammar again. He basically said, does bad grammar in the comments area of your website actually hurt your rankings? And Matt Cutts said, no, you don't have to worry about people who spell poorly in Google or use bad grammar in your own comments. He gave an example saying YouTube has tons of bad grammar in their comments. It's interesting because earlier, maybe in 2011, I believe, yeah, Matt Cutts spoke about having bad grammar or spelling mistakes in your actual content. He said it's not part of the ranking algorithm back then, but typically people won't want to visit your site and use your site if you have bad grammar. So obviously it's not impacting necessarily your rankings, but it might impact other metrics around your rankings. This is interesting. Florian found a little way of actually showing debug information in Google. Most of this is just time-related load page time for Google search results, but it's very interesting to see this. And it's not really showing much detail, but there's obviously a lot more people can actually see. But it's very interesting to see something like this. Basically, how Google debugs their own search results, at least a snippet of that over here. Then Matt Cutts also created a very fun video, it's about 8 minutes long, about what the typical day is for a search spam fighter at Google, a web spam fighter at Google. And he wrote this whole big video. In short, he's saying there's two types of spam fighters. One is the engineers that write algorithms that fight spam, and the other one is the manual action spam people that actually target spam manually. And he goes through all that, and he also talks about a typical day and how there is really no typical day, and the job security, and all that other stuff around it. And finally, yeah, this is good. This loads. Basically, it's Valentine's Day, and all the search engines have a lot of different things going on. Google has two logos. One is for the US audience, which you can see over here. It's a pretty animated logo with a lot of different things. Also for the international audience, they have a completely different logo. You create your own chocolates and share it with your friends. Yahoo has an animated logo. Baidu has a nice logo. So GUI, another Asian search engine, has a nice logo. Dogpile has a nice animated logo as well. Bing and Ask.com as well as us. So anyway, everybody, have a really great, nice Valentine's Day, great weekend, stay warm, and I'll catch you guys next week. Again, this is the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and this is search news we covered on Friday, for the past week, and today is Friday, February 14th, Valentine's Day. Everyone have a great weekend. I'll see you guys next. Bye.